Hello YouTube, Infinite Magicraid community, Gandalf here. It's been a while since I have done a championship video. I thought I was out of the running for championship after all the changes they made to it. I mean, look at me. Uh, just slightly under 20, 2.2 million power, and most of the competition I'm facing up is almost to 2.4. If anybody took note of, I'm sorry for all of those people that betted on City Jungle and I had a huge upset on that. I think it was like a 90 to 10% vote last I checked. Yeah, a pretty big upsetting victory. It was incredibly close, 12 to 13. It was really just one match difference. So today we're going to do a little bit of recap. I want to take this opportunity to also talk a little bit about what we're seeing in the meta right now. There is a lot more focus now from the big players to see how they're doing in the championships because it's really all individual and there's less RNG involved because you're playing with five teams. They all battle one another, really making it a whales game. Um, but looking across the top, we got Bailey against Yuzuki, now renamed. We got uh, Klee versus somebody else from Mystic. Yeah, really strong player here as well. We got Oni Bands versus Aaron. We got myself versus Liwa. Um, Bisun Rum versus Lord Eric. Pretty much the same names. Given or Jin versus Panda. Got Massive Dom versus Steven, and we got uh, Sick Time versus Cozy. So very big names across the top. We can see it's pretty much a Bulls Prime versus Mystic game. So we still got it. I see one Hope player from One's Hope here, but you can see who's pretty much the top guild right now with the strongest player. And having said that, I want to take this opportunity to thank the sponsor of our video, Bose Prime. And guess what? We are recruiting. So if you are Megalodon, if you are a Kraken out there, there is a spot for you in the oldest guild in the game. For the longest time, we've been reigning on the top. But yes, recently in the last few months, we have fallen behind uh, Mystic with the retirement of some of our biggest Krakens. But uh, no fear, we still pretty much have very strong players across the board. You're looking at, on average, 2.3 to 2.4 million players with, our anchor, Bailey, at a whopping 2.57. His advanced arena teams are like at 2.8, so or 2.9. So incredible community, a very mature community, drama free. So if you're a really strong player and you're seeking for a spot among the best, we do have a spot waiting for you. So end of the commercial break. Let's go over the championship. I think there's a couple of things I think to note that we are seeing in the meta. One, Ronai, as predicted, definitely makes it into the meta, right? The additional 5% speed really helped. I think this is probably the key hero that I added to my composition that helped me push across the line. Everything else, we pretty much now see four standard teams. And then the last team usually is a control heavy team blending between Ascendo or Nazil. So if you're interested in championship, these are the team you're kind of looking to win. Some of the less notable hero is Nula and Madalena. Both of these heroes have a potential, and we don't see a high used. So I'll say they're underused. They're underused. Doesn't mean they aren't strong. You can see in the win rates, they're actually very consistent in the win rate. Um, Henge continues to prove to be a powerhouse in terms of soloing. We'll see her potential a little bit in some of the replays as we go through the recap. But as we look at some of the top teams, right? I think Lord Eric has been. Let's go with Lord Eric. Lord Eric basically had, I think, consistent. Where's when did BTN True get knocked out? Oh, Oh, I'm sorry. He had to go up against Bailey. That's unfortunate placement there. Very unfortunate placement. I normally I feel like in this group, first group, we have way too many big players in the first group that's getting knocked out. But that's what it is. But I would go to him to see what top meta teams look like. So this is a very clean composition. So going with a slightly faster Nita here, pretty much it's a speed race. Literally, there's nothing you can do except to beat speed on this team. And you can see clearly he won 100% of this match. Let's see how he went against Bailey. Even against Bailey, we can see, okay, well, didn't bust through Bailey's defense there on the first team. But for his other teams, oh my, I guess Bailey has faster speeds. I think that's what we see here. But this team does really well, composition wise. Second team, oh wait, did he use? Oh, he swapped up his teams in between match. What a guy. This 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 kind of is the standard speed meta. You have a few variation of it. Sometimes you will go with Ronai. Sometimes you just go straight with Bunny and um, and Popper, and you put your row 9 with your space. So basically, there's two speed teams fully capable now anchoring your team for the two speed compositions. As you can see on the enemy side, on the opposing side, you see the same composition, right? Here, you see the bunny with Popper together with focused. This is the standard kind of template. And then you see the space and Ronai on the other composition. We see the E3 Agatha with Brynhild as a very common pair together, a very powerful duo for defensive and offensive purposes. Then we see the Donald team as the other staple. Usually these teams make up your three core teams. Okay. For the most part, you should be able to aim for four. So let's see what BT and Trude have done here. So this is again a core staple team we see everywhere in Arena. This is a commonly seen team. This is kind of like your super fast speed burst. Is a great composition with Lydia. If you can afford not having Lydia in your team compositions, we see it quite a bit. Seemed did pretty well here, but we'll see how his team did against Bailey. And the last team is very much taking advantage of Ascendo because as soon as you CC your enemy, your Ascendo actually goes really quick. And given we're expected to see two speed metas, so a speed, a space and Ronai and um, um, Anita team, unless you're Panda, this team works extremely effective against a lot of teams. So we're going to take a look at how I kind of leverage that. But first, I want to just check out again him versus Bailey. Wanted to see how well the burst team did. So that's his. We're going to pay attention to the fourth team here. The heavy burst team beat out the space team. Oh, okay, never mind. It's 18 to 7. So it's not really fair to fair to compare that. But I think if I go to a previous season, we can see how well BTN True has done. He's pretty much made it top 8 almost every round. Just very unfortunately, he had to face Bailey up front. Rooting for Bailey to finish off championship. I think came very close. He was second a couple of times in the last few times, I believe. So good luck to you, Bailey, out there. Um, all right, let's take a look at my own matches because I think I the only reason I decided to cover this is because it was a very big upset. Honestly, I wasn't expecting this, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to cover it and get a chance to talk to you all about what the meta looks like right now. So you can see in my team composition right now, very similar. Of course, I don't have as many heroes built out. There's a couple options I could potentially leverage. You can see on the top, I'm using the very standard variation of the Donald composition. Ideally, you run all exclusive 5 here and get the big counterattack from Donald. The second team going for the high speed variation. set up to basically go first. Uh, um, Ronai actually at a very high speed can almost come close to space. So even if your space gets CC'd, whatnot, you have the opportunity to counter back. Now, again, this team, similar to the next one, is very weak to the CC composition coming in from Nazil and Ascendo. Again, I wish I had better heroes built. Here is not ideal to um, run Jack. I mean, Jack and Andreas does a lot of damage. I mean, they're the best options I have. But if I had other things, I could potentially be thinking about. Like I would definitely think about putting in some other heroes in here. I have decided to run Lydia as an option to kind of counter as a countermeasure. Normally, you will see in this spot a focus, but I decided to put Lydia on this team, and we'll see how those small tech choices have whether they help me with my matches or not. So let's go take a look at the composition against City Jungle again. Massive power difference here, almost by 200 by 200k. So we're talking about someone who's full sanctuary with probably a decent amount of pretty much all exclusive fives, right? With high incarnate sanctuary for me, um, you know, pretty much only exclusive three for the most part. Some of the mythics might be at exclusive five. Okay, let's go into the matches. So first round, again, this matchup is highly unfavored for me. Pretty much it's tanky. You're talking about Agatha E3. I simply don't have the DPS to go through it. So you can see his tanky variation, Agatha E3, just completely destroyed the majority of my compositions. And I really, this is this is basically whale strength at its finest. Um, like I think Team 3 will be an interesting one to watch because I thought maybe I would be able to punch through using this team. But I have a feeling that his Panda's really quick. My prediction is the Panda went before I could have CC'd. Okay, so I did get the extra opportunity to do it. However, without the focus, this was actually more detrimental to my team than helping it. So you can see that without the focus, this team actually didn't do its job and lost, unfortunately. Let's see now, we're going to pay attention to Team 3 to see if Team 3 actually helped me win most cases. So what's nice is because I had Lydia maybe, um, this team actually helped me against a mirror composition. So let's take a look at that. Now, or was it just a stall and I won because of, oh, the Lydia, that's interesting. So it became a stall match, and and I won this one. Um, Even though damage-wise, I did a little bit more damage, just slightly more overall. So the victory was given to me because I managed to score more damage overall. Um, this is where I guess maybe because I had less health and he had more health, and that kind of helped me out a little bit. Um, yeah, the damage from Lydia and Pop Rain total. So this was, I guess, a key deciding factor there. Um, a very close match. Let's see. This one I did win. So normally this composition, if I did not have Lydia tanking it, I probably would have lost. But let's see what happened here. Let's see if Lydia was key to helping, or is it because just Popper exploded? It might be the fact that Popper just exploded. Sorry, wait, did I think I lost, right? So does this team actually win anything? Okay, so whatever says defeated, right? Defeated. Okay, so this team won against his last team here. That's kind of disappointing. This kind of makes me really want to put focus back and move my Lydia somewhere else. Perhaps the last team or to strengthen one of my other teams, or strengthen this team actually. No way, it doesn't work well with Brynhild. So I'm gonna have to give some thought, but messing around with this team composition was probably a bad idea. Let's review some of my other matches. I think the first match was a very big upset. I think Henge, you can see there, 31 million damage is the major uh, reason why I won. I think uh, you can see that he got me real bad up there. Um, Not even close. My Donald doesn't do enough, just simply not enough. Um, so my Donald got destroyed. And I think soon we're about to see the big damage from Hannah, because my Hannah is probably built up with a lot of damage by now. Okay, so the heal goes up. We're waiting for my Hannah to do its big AoE. Like my Hannah should have stored up so much damage by now. I think we can check, right? So on my side, Hannah, it's all, yeah, stored up to 98%. Oh, sorry, you can't see because of my icon here, but let me make that a little bit smaller for this. So you can see my Hannah is at full. So this is going to be a massive amount of damage whenever my Hannah goes. Um, so sometimes I think, Hela is a very interesting hero where if you're actually on more on the defensive side, the harder the opponent hits you, the more damage you do. And there were times where I went 300 turns with Henla because Henla simply could not um, manage. Now, don't tell me this is a match where we went 300 turns. Um, I wish we can just fast through this. Okay, let's skip and see if there's a way to view. I guess you can't tell, but clearly I did more damage because my Henlo was hitting back a lot more. And because I wasn't hitting him very hard, his Henlo wasn't actually doing a lot of damage. So it's a very interesting situation where I really lucked out on a few of these compositions. Like this win here, again, is probably because it did more damage and we went 300 turns, maybe, by the looks of it. Or my Henlo slowly killed everything off, just because I was taking more damage. So a very interesting mechanic there. Second team round, um, I was able to surprisingly beat majority of his team here. So the first team, again, very clutch. I saw the replay for this one. So um, I think I was down to, I think two heroes, right? I think he killed everything. Yeah, almost killed the Donald there. My Donald had a sliver of health, and that allowed me to use my Donald to finish things off a little bit. So that was the super clutch win there. Second team, I believe, is because I outsped him. Yeah, you can see this is the benefit of having a Ronai. His popper was 30-35. My space is just slightly faster, um, and and that allowed me to go before his popper now with 31% turn meter boost. So that was really good. Um, we saw this third team already purely because ran out of time. And the last team, you can see this team is really weak to a CC control team, right? So a lot of people like to run this composition. So you can at least secure a couple wins with this last comp. So you can see, yes, I won against this. And my last team was able to beat another team. So anything that doesn't have CC immunities, that actually makes uh, Luna actually very good in the championship meta because now you have another team that can counter the CC team because we see the last team as the CC team in the meta a lot right now. So let's quickly review this match. Even though it's all burn type damage, the amount of CC we managed to put on the Nita didn't, oh sorry, wrong one, didn't really give it too much of a chance here. So let's review the last match. Sorry, where is it? Yeah, we're going to review against the fifth match here. So the Nita and the Popper really did a number on me, I think. Um, but we can see the effectiveness that with all of this CC, it's preventing that Nita from moving. And then Jack even though Jack is a lot of detonation, he does a lot of direct damage too. If you actually look at his description, it is a split. So Jack there did a really good job um, cleaning up that Nita there. Let's see this one. I don't think this. I think this team again, it's still decently built. I mean, it's very well rounded with Ether in there, so very much counter attacking. I mean, it won two of my teams, so really, um, this team really needs a lot of work. So I got some work to do maybe on team three between now and the next match to fix it a little bit and think about what's the best way to go about this. Um, and yeah, I think the last one's kind of self-explanatory where I kind of want a little bit more because, again, the last team for most people, um, I think it's a little bit weak. So this is my opponent tomorrow. I'm dealing with one really solid team here. Gonna have to think about how do I get around that. Um, you got another E3 Agatha set up with freeze, so a very painful composition to deal with. This is your burst comp um, with Lydia. Seems like he won all of his matches. Wow, using this composition, so it must hit really, really hard, especially with a Hoff there. So gonna have to find a way around this. Let's see how quickly you destroy the first team, because the first team, oh, they didn't even. Like I figured out something tanky would survive it, but nope. That is a very scary Tifia. So again, this is a very solid composition, right? So unless you're like a massive Kraken, you can't withstand this kind of damage. Very good compositions. So this is where we see very solid, again, taking advantage of Alec probably to boost the O'Grady's here, but it seems like this team actually is his weakest team and lost majority of the comps matches. And finally, this team also looks a little bit weak too. Trying to go for tanky, a lot of shielding, but in the current meta, it just won't withstand most of the beating from other teams. I mean, it did win two of the teams. So this is where I think Pipti Splotch try to go for a really strong nuking team. However, it just doesn't withstand it didn't break through the tankiness. So very interesting. This is also good against the speed comp here, but you really need a lot of boosting. Like you need a Lydia in here or with a bunny to break through that kind of defense. So again, very interesting matchup tomorrow. Um, I'm gonna need all the luck in the world to squeeze past this one. I don't expect to. So yes, I'm voted 96 to 1. So hopefully 96% of you will get your miracle rune this time. I will hate to take that away from 96% of you. So again, hope you enjoyed this recap and enjoyed my discussion of the current meta in the championship. And I'll see you next time. Gandalf out.